Sign up for our monthly giveaway. Every month, we give away exclusive Cigars and Sea Stories gear, as well as items for our guests and sponsors. Those are gadgets, gizmos, all sorts of different stuff. When you subscribe to our newsletter by going to cigarsandseastories.com and clicking subscribe, you automatically enter into our monthly giveaway. How you earn points for those giveaway is by sharing the referral link with your network. Every time you share, you earn a point. Every time one of your friends subscribes, you earn an additional 5 points. So go to cigarsandseastories.com right now and subscribe.
From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we fight our country's battles in the air, on land and sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep
On this episode of Cigars and Sea Stories, Bennett and Mike are talking about the tree line. Remember the tree line? You know, like drop blouses and beat the shit out of each other for a little while. And then when you're done, you shake hands and you walk away. And you might not necessarily like the person anymore, but at least you got it out. And,
well, you probably didn't like the guy very much going in because you're headed to the tree line.
Right, exactly. That's what I mean. No one's going to walk away best friends, don't get me wrong, but at least you beat the shit out of each other. Now you feel better about it. Like, all right, whatever. See, in the wrestling room, we had that. Because you would just wrestle each other. It didn't even matter what size you were. You just wrestle each other. You know, in hockey, we had that. Like, good, you got a fucking problem? Both of you are going through the meat grinder, because none of us can stand you. And the meat grinder is when you skate in between the boards and your entire team, and they each wallop the shit out of you. They just check you, you know, like it's a game. And it's practice. It's part of the training. You know what I'm saying? But whatever happened in the tree line? Like, what the hell is going on? Kids don't fight anymore these days. And I hear you, yeah, there's fights that break out in school all the time. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. They break out in a classroom. Whereas
but it's not the same.
It's not
just
the same.
Different.
At 3 p.m., I'm going to fucking fight you. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. What was that called? 4 O'Clock High or whatever, that one movie, 3 O'Clock High? Meet at the flagpole?
Right. And for us, it was
Dude,
Smoker's Alley.
I remember having like a rumble. Like straight up like this
yes.
tribe faced off against that tribe and shit got real.
Oh, yeah. Well, and it's like, it's all of the quote-unquote physical games, right, that you can't play. You know, they've taken away physical education out of class. Even around here, there's only... Physical education only happens once every 3 or 4 weeks. And it's for a block. And you're educated on that. Like, it's more class.
My kids have PE every... they've got it 3 days a week, 4 days a week.
Like, how... I don't give a shit that my kids are spending more time inside of a classroom. I want them to spend more time outside of a classroom. That's what I want. You know what I mean? And I say it that way because in the core, I realize just how much of a kinesthetic learner I am. Right? Like, okay, I tell you what. Here's the thing. I'm going to teach you how to use a mortar system on paper. Good luck ever employing the 81 millimeter mortar. You're never going to be able to do it if you're only taught on paper. You have to get out there and do it with your hands. You know, that's part of it. So there's a lot of folks like myself. Dude, I fucking sucked at school. Absolutely sucked at school. And frankly, it was one of those things to where it was like, I love education. I love learning. Absolutely couldn't stand school. Couldn't stand teachers. Couldn't stand principals. Couldn't stand being around people who I view have zero authority over me whatsoever. And so I was always the kid who was like, all right, I'm out of here. Like, skipping class was one of those things where other kids felt real guilty about it. It was like, negative, I'm going home.
Not this guy.
See you never.
I almost didn't graduate because I used to skip so much class.
Well, right. And dude, when you're skipping class, I mean, you basically have two options. You can go and get stoned or drunk with your buddies, or you can fuck something up maliciously. You know, it's like...
And you know what class I skipped that I almost failed for?
What's that?
I almost didn't graduate because of PE.
Really?
Yeah, because here's the deal. It was so gay. I mean, I played sports. So
Right.
it was so fucking gay, PE was, that I just chose not to go.
It was, right. Well, and frankly, okay, let's see here. How do I put this? It was pussified. It was ran by cunts. It was ran by people who were very weak and almost like, what? Why? Why are you doing this? What do you? How is this to a benefit of any regard? Like, thank you. I would love to be a top-notch athlete. Can we just put a ball out there and play with it? Like, why are you giving me a class on this shit? Proper stretching. Like, just do a daily 7. Let's go, teach. What the hell is your deal? I mean, I remember varsity sports being such a clusterfuck when I was in school. It was one of those things. And then what always wound up happening, we would take it to the tree line. Like, during varsity sports, yeah, I'll do your little stretches and stuff, but you better meet me out back because I'm going to beat the shit out of you. Or I'm going to get my face caved in. But that was, PE was like when you took it to the tree line. Because that was, dude, think about it like this. I was terrible at football. So kids would just beat the hell out of me at football. Just absolutely ruined my day over it. But I was great at hockey and lacrosse. Remember the lacrosse? Did you ever play lacrosse in school with the plastic? Everything's all plastic. So it's an aluminum.
Nope.
It's an aluminum rod with a plastic bin thing. You know the things that you can throw a wiffle ball back and forth with at the beach?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's like that. And so I would run all over the place with that ball, and it means that you can hit me if I have that ball. Yeah, well, I can also hit you. So I would pick the ball up and be like, I don't like you, and then I would run at somebody and just absolutely headhunt them. Like, what? What? Yeah. And we did it to each other all the time, because kids are mean to each other. You lock them together all day. You force them to be your... I don't hang out with any of those people anymore.
You've got the freaking kids... And then they end up going home, grabbing a gun, and coming back.
Oh, is that right?
Everybody.
Whatever happened to the tree line? Just let them get it out. Just let them beat the shit out of each other. It doesn't matter. Can't do it in the middle of a class.
How many people have you met? I kid you not. And this is one of those things that is absolute insanity to me. A man, like a 30 or 40-year-old man, that's never been punched or punched someone.
You want to know what blew my brain? This blew my mind. That's Ray Liotta's never been in a fight. Okay? That's what blew my mind. Right. Ray Liotta, and I'm not calling him out. Guy's great. Think he's awesome. Think he's a great actor. Think he was amazing in The Goodfellas. But to find out that guy had never been in a fight, I'm like, okay. Like, there's TV in Hollywood and all of that other bullshit, which a lot of people are so wrapped up in that, that's real life. Oh, it's got to be. It's on TV. It's on the internet. It's got to be real life. Like, what are you talking about? This is all just entertainment. It's all entertainment. Even this is entertainment. What are we talking about, people? I hope this is a departure from your normal life. This is entertainment. Come on. Like, what the hell is going on? But I say it that way because tough guys on the screen doesn't mean that they're tough guys in real life.
Or tough guys in real life.
Right.
I mean, guys that play that card.
Right.
Usually the guys that play that card aren't those guys. Yeah. Just saying.
Just very simple. If you've ever gotten in a real fight in your life, you wouldn't be so keen to get into another. Right? You've ever actually had your ass handed to you.
Exactly. And that's one of the things that I always say to people that want to fight, like in a club, like in a fucking club, man. Are you insane?
Insanity.
Are you insane?
It's because they're drunk.
To get into a fight at a bar. Like maybe, I mean, I get it if you're totally drunk off your ass, right? I get it. Your inhibitions are down. You're not thinking straight. You're fucking drunk. That's why I won't fight drunk people.
Right.
But I've actually gotten into a fight, stone cold sober in a bar with a guy that I don't know what the fuck his problem was, but he got his ass beat.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things like here's what it comes down to, folks. People drive around acting like assholes. people walk around acting like assholes, probably because they never gotten their ass kicked.
Right.
Now, I mean, what it comes down to, though, is that this isn't Hollywood. Like, you don't a fight lasts like 6 seconds.
Right.
Usually it's the one that lands the first good shot, right?
Yeah.
And then the rest of it ends up on the ground, if it goes that far. So,
all right.
It blows my mind, people that step to other people in a bar, because you have no fucking clue who you're stepping to. None. No. Zero. And nowadays, I don't fuck with people because you never know who's going to pull out a fucking gun. Frankly.
I think we missed the gap. We missed the gap somewhere, because taking it to the tree line had rules, remember? If your knee touched the ground, you had to hold. And if your back was on the ground, the fight was over. It was just that simple. Like,
I'm telling you from experience, though, been in a lot of street fights. I mean, I'm not like Vin Diesel and around guys or something. You know what I mean? But I've been in as a bouncer too. Because you know how many guys, I mean, I can't believe it, like fragile egos are out there, right? So if they get kicked out of a bar, these fucking twats will fucking wait around all night until you get off of work.
Yes.
At a bar.
They have nothing better to do.
I can give you at least 24 examples where that type of shit happened. And then they'll come at me, bitch, I'm pulling a bat out of my trunk.
Right.
Like, this is the real world. This isn't like some weird, this isn't the tree line. This isn't whatever. So the tree line, I remember the first time that ever happened to me in the military.
Yeah.
When I literally had a team leader take his blouse off and be like, bitch, we're going to deal with this shit right now. Right?
Right.
The first time I ever saw that, I was like, what the fuck? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So I totally, and see, that's the thing. Oh my God, bro. That was just a way of dealing with fucking issues.
And it worked.
Like, Fight Club is the most popular movie in the world because of shit like that.
Right.
Because men need to deal with shit sometimes like men.
Right. Well, and I would agree that women do too. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing roller derby and all of these other different things to hide that which is just naturally occurring inside of a human being. To want to fight, that is a natural thing. That betters you as a human being. If you don't know how to defend or move physically, you are lesser off and you are further down on the food chain, and that's just all there is to it. You need to understand mind, body, and soul. And by body, that means you need to know how to maneuver, fight, and defend yourself, because there are malicious actors that are out there. Well, and me personally, that was something that I grew up with, not necessarily in school. In school, we had a lot of that pacification. My school teachers were extraordinary at passive aggressiveness. Like, that was their speciality. Passive aggressiveness was always where it came from, because it could be
up in Pottersville.
It could be hidden, right? It was something that was out of view, and it was like, well, I told the child to sit down and all of these things, and the more and more patronizing that gets, because frankly, I think the entire academic experience in general is extraordinarily patronizing and shocking to me. But the tree line was always such a great thing, because I knew that it had the same rules as fighting in hockey. There is a place for fighting in the sport of hockey. It needs to be there. It is part of the game. And if you mess around with this person who doesn't fight all the time, our guy who fights all the time is going to break your fucking face in. And those are the rules. So if you mess with one of my friends and then I punch you in the nose until your face is bloody and broken, and then you touch a knee on the ice, okay, the fight's over. You're on your back, the fight's over. But I'm going to pummel your face in while you're standing on your 2 feet under your own energy, and you continue to want to fight me. You are another opposing force. I'll just continue to beat the ever-living shit out of you. Or vice versa. or I'll get the shit kicked out of me. I'm engaging in this mano-y-mano with the intention of pummeling your face in and you so with mine. That is a gentlemanly agreement between two people who said, yeah, I'm cool with this. Let's start beating the shit out of each other. That's totally okay. If you both decide that you want to go out into the parking lot and fight each other, that's still okay. Right now, to this day, that is okay, but it's not in between kids.
Right.
And yeah. I don't remember the last time that a grown up, right? Who think about it though. Think about it like from a there was the bully and all of that other stuff. Don't get me wrong. And that's hey, maybe there's something else happening at home and all of these other different things. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not at all what I'm talking about. I'm saying, Matt, for instance, slammed my fingers in the desk on purpose. He's a normal human being with a reasonable freaking home life. I've been to his house. His mother is awesome. But that kid is being a dick to me today. Like, you keep doing this shit to me, and I'm going to meet you out at the tree line. Right? I remember this, man. It was 4th grade. I was sitting in Mrs. Grant's class. I remember it like it was yesterday. And it's like, I'm going to beat the shit out of you if you do that again. And he did it to me one more time. And I was like, you and me after school, I'm going to knock your goddamn face in. And we played hockey against one another. So we already knew it was coming. And I waited for him and he waited for me. And we beat the shit out of each other right over where this little sidewalk goes in between the 2 fence lines that goes out to the neighborhood. It's like you're right off school grounds, so no one can say anything about it. Yet, you good on this? Good. Pound knuckles. Sweet. Bam! And it's 4th grade, dude. We were, 9, 10? Something like that. Dude, the same kids who used to, call me a pussy for riding the bicycle I had and threw it in the snow and all of that other stuff. It hurt me at the time when I was a kid. But we squared off in other ways. And I didn't try to get even as far as, hey, I'm gonna get with my buddies and jump this kid. That was never in my psyche. Hey, man, you and me and all of our friends, we're going to jump this one person. No, fuck that guy. I'm going to square up with this dude. And I'm going to be like, dude, air it out. Let's go. Come on. And I remember since I was 9.
The first real fight like that I ever got into. I was probably about the same age. I was living in Princeton. I was probably in the 4th grade. So 10. Yeah. 9, right? 10. Yeah. And I had a paper route. I delivered papers in the afternoon, right?
Yeah.
And there's these 3 kids that were 2 years older than me, right? That they would always torment me, man. I just didn't let it really bother me. I remember thinking back, and I didn't really let it bother me, right? Because they were just stupid.
Right.
What are you doing? Right? This is even my thought back in the day. So I never avoided it. I just I didn't ride my bike a block around or whatever. I would still do it. So, but it was every couple of days. They wouldn't really do anything. They would just talk shit.
Right.
Right. But I remember one day being totally fed up. And I don't remember why, but something was going down. I literally stopped. I jumped off my bike and I started talking shit back. And there's 3 of them.
Yeah.
And I remember starting to all of a sudden all 3 of them surrounded me.
Yeah.
And then I remember the one kid, and I'll never forget this guy. And I know his name was Braden. He was one of the guy's older brothers. So he was 2 years older than them. Right. But here was the deal. So this is kind of funny because I was a Boy Scout when I was a kid too. All right.
Yeah.
This kid was in the Boy Scouts with me. He was in the same troop. Right.
Oh God. Yeah.
So he didn't take my side, but what he did was no. Basically, he was no, one of you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And that's what happened. And that kid got his ass beat by me. Right.
And that's the thing. You were in Boy Scouts.
Now, see, here's the one thing I remember.
Yeah.
from that point on, I never, ever really willingly wanted to get into a fight because that shit hurt.
Yeah.
It hurt.
It hurts getting punched in the face.
Fucking real fighting hurts.
Yes.
And if you don't know that, you're fucking wrong.
You have to learn
I don't know
it
if you're
as
wrong.
a kid.
I don't know if you're wrong, but that is a deterrent. That is the most humbling thing. The first time you get your ass kicked, that shit will humble the shit out of you.
It needs to be learned as a child. You need to learn how to handle conflict. You need to learn your soft skills and blah, blah, blah. How to handle conflict as a child. You need to get punched in the face by another kid. If you're antagonistic in life, and that's how it is, and then you get hit in the face by another kid, not necessarily because he's a bully or anything else like that, but because you're a little shit and an asshole, that kid needs to punch you back in the face. That's exactly... I had that happen.
It really did deal with a lot. It really did deal with a lot of issues.
It did.
After that incident plus one other, never in my life have I been a bully. Never.
Right.
I would always be that guy that would be like, knock it off, dick. You know what I mean? To whoever. If you want to be an asshole, you're going to hear about it from me.
Right.
I hate that shit.
You know what my favorite line is? Because no one sees it coming. This is my favorite. And it's very benign. Hey, not cool. You're a fucking asshole. Just say not cool.
I used to say that to guys all the time.
Right.
Especially in the military. Like they would be doing whatever their dumb shit was. And I'd be like, you're kind of an asshole.
Right.
And people would be like, what? I'd be like, yeah, you're an asshole. Be nicer to people. Seriously. And I do that now,
Oh yeah.
I do not like people that treat other people badly. And right. what's that old adage? Be nice to old people and dogs and animals or whatever and children.
Yeah.
And the way that you are to them directly is a huge
right.
It really talks to your character.
Well, right. There are going to be other negative forces that exist out there. Pay no mind to them. You're observing, but you pay no mind to their interaction upon you. The warrior is calm even in the moment of conflict. That's something that you need to understand. It's something that was trained in us. I mean, that's the whole point. And people think like, oh, if you want that, if you need that type of training, then you should go, you should go into the military, or you should go over here and you should do that, or we should sign them up for sports. Yeah, what about poor kids? What about your poverty-stricken and you can barely find enough to eat, and on top of it, this kid's an asshole to you in school, and now you're being expelled because you got into one altercation with him. Like, whoa, there's a whole lot of what-ifs that are there. But right, conflict management happens at the youngest age, when we're kids, because it goes back to that thing. You get in a fight, you probably wouldn't want to get into another one unless, essentially that is life in a lot of different places. But see, we skip that. There's a lot of kids to where it's like no conflict, and I honestly think that there's a boiler, there's a pressure cooker situation, obviously, that's happening there.
And that's what I think is going on with these like school shootings, mass shootings in general, is people literally that's their boiling point. They're boiling over and they don't know any other way to react.
Right. And it's not going to be, bear in mind, this is not a group therapy session away. This is good. Okay. You guys want to have at each other? No problem. Roll out the wrestling mats and let the kids wrestle. Right, you don't want them to break each other's bones and shit like that. That's fine. It's a wrestling match. Like, are you serious, Mike? Yes, from the age of 4, which my son is. And, oh, by the way, my buddy Trey, his son, and my son, they wrestle each other at the age of 4. When they don't get along with each other, I'm like, come on, have at it. Go for it. They'll go at it in the backyard. It doesn't freaking matter. And then when they're done, they get up and continue to play. Wow. Oh my goodness. Like, you need to have a little bit of conflict. You can't crack each other over the face with hockey sticks. That's why we're there. That's literally only as referees. Just like, whoa, 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 whoa. No weapons. The hell? This is blackout or tap out. Let's go. You know, we didn't force this. These kids want to they want to smash each other. Oh no, you should put them in the corner and put them in timeout. Yeah, right. Let's isolate them with their thoughts so that they can stew over the next time that they get face to face with this kid. It's going to be twice as worse. Watch. Just watch. You know what I mean? And so it's funny because my son, he was playing around and he high sticked. And it was like, no, negative. You never do that. Stop. Stick out of hands. Not authorized. Because, you know, hockey is a brutal sport, man. And I grew up playing hockey since the age of 6. So I'm teaching my kids how to play hockey. My son knows how to body check. Dude, it's part of the sport. You got to learn how to tackle if you're going to play football. You got to learn how to body check if you're going to hit. Little kid can throw a hit, man. You got to watch him now.
But it's one of those things, like you've got to, there's a balance.
Right.
And this is why what men need to teach their sons or need to teach is that balance between violence of action and when not to.
This is why
to have civil discourse, right?
Well, yeah, but it's also, you grew up with Transformers, right? Remember that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, why do I bring that up? Or like Superman. Didn't you grow up with Superman?
Of course.
Okay, why am I asking you this? Because they all have great power. And with great power comes great responsibility. Mike, you're going to grow up someday. You're going to be 6'2", 210 pounds and authorized to instruct pretty much anybody on pretty much any firearm known to man. With great power comes great responsibility. Those were my lessons as a child. You need to know that you as a human being possess a great amount of power, even though you are extraordinarily fragile. You need to learn that lesson as a child. And anybody who has ever lived through some sort of crazy life experience when they were a kid knows exactly what I'm talking about. If you've ever been through a car accident in your life, you can see just how much power another human being has over your frail little body. And you will see exactly what I'm talking about. You need to understand the limitations and the capabilities that you have as a human being before you become an adult and actually wield them. It's like little baby scorpions who give you all at once. You know what I'm talking about? Same shit.
Yeah, first time I really ever, I was almost an adult the first time I really, well, I guess I was an adult technically. But the first time I really got my ass kicked, really, every fight I was ever in hurt, right?
Yeah.
But I always found myself getting into fights because of other people. It wasn't because of myself. It's because I was either standing up for somebody else, like sheepdoggy type thing, like somebody was getting bullied and I stick up for them, that kind of thing. Or it was that blind leading the blind because you're my friend, I'm going to stand up for you. But that's what opened my eyes to knowing when people are an asshole.
Oh yeah.
I remember there's one time, and you know what? It's one of those things. So then the first time I really got my ass kicked, I was like 17, right? And I literally got pummeled by like 3 dudes. I mean, just bad. Like probably broke ribs, that type of thing, you know? But again, it's like you and I were talking about before this. 2 of those guys went to the hospital with me. You know what I mean?
Right.
But at the end of the day, I don't want that to ever happen again.
No.
The next time I really got my ass, now, when it was man on man, right?
Right.
The first time I actually really would say, yeah, you lost this fight. It was a tough man contest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, when they used to do that at bars and shit, like they would have a ring and your ass would get into it and you guys would, now we had gloves and headgear on and stuff. So they had it set up like boxing. Right.
And the girdle and stuff like that.
But because I'm not tall, but I'm heavy and I always was heavy. even in the best shape of my life, I was 200 plus pounds, right?
Yeah.
So I think I weighed 225 or so at that point. But this is one of those times when I was working out all the time. I was a fucking killer. That's what it was.
Right.
Killer. And I got in. So then, because of weight, it's all done in weight classes, you know?
Right.
So the tough man, the next thing I know, I get into the ring against a guy who was probably 300 pounds and like 6'5", right? I'm 5'10", I'm 5'10", 225-ish.
Right. Oh my God.
This guy's a monster. He's a beast. He's a beast. Now, I had no fear in my heart.
No.
Because of the gear, I'm like, I'm going to fucking get this. You know what I mean?
Right.
Dude, he fucking used me like a wet fucking rag, bro. I mean, he was just too strong. Reach was too far. Now, if that was a no rules fight, I don't know how well it would have ended up for him.
Right.
Or me for that matter. But it would have been a different fight. But I got worn out. He knocked me down like 4 times, man. They ended up having to call the fight because I wasn't going to quit. But I was going to go to fucking hospital if I hadn't stopped, you know? And this fucking guy, he owned me.
Yeah.
Who? And I'll admit it every day of my life, right?
See, and that's why I've never been, so me personally, I never engage in UFC, you know, boxing or any of those other things. I'll train for it and it's fun and stuff like that. I'll spar with other folks depending on, but the sport of it does not intrigue me because of the different, you know, I never got into a hand-to-hand combat scenario with somebody out in, you know, with the enemy, which frankly, I mean, that's would be very bad for anybody that would be awful. But Marines are always wrestling with each other and doing all sorts of stuff. My buddy Sam, and he got me. Oh my God. So I had him in a clench from around the elbows, and he sat through, popped out, and that right foot swung all the way out to a pivot point. And when he came around, his first instinct was just uppercut. Whap! And I locked up. I was just out. Oh, dude. And, oh, man, I remember.
The cartoon character with freaking
bad
shit fluttering around your head. Yeah, man.
Yeah. And I went to it was on the Marine Corps birthday. And, you know, we were just wrestling around in the hooch and having a good time and all of that other good stuff and whap. And, and so went to the Marine Corps birthday, standing in formation, just like, I forgot what I was doing while I was standing in formation. You know, I was just like, what am I? Oh, yeah. And then I looked back forward, like, thank God I was in the back, kind of left corner or whatever. I totally lost bearing and just forgot where I was. And then I kind of took a shower later, like a cold shower of cold water over the head, and kind of wrung it out a little bit and stuff, and had Doc check me out. He's like, you're not concussed, but you had your bell rung, dude. Like, yeah, that fucking, whoo, god damn, getting hit in the face hurts, and getting locked up hurts even worse, you know? But I tell you what, though, getting hit in the face hurts. Getting punched in the ribs.
Oh my God. Have you ever
every time
made
you breathe,
the mistake and punched somebody in the head?
Oh,
like
yeah.
Punch somebody
over
in the top of the
you
head.
mean?
You'll break your fucking hand.
Oh, yeah. That's no
worst,
good,
bro.
That's why you want to hit him on the jaw.
My right hand is never the same.
Yeah.
My right hand will never be the same because of that.
Oh, dude.
It hurts when the weather gets cold, and I know it's all because of that type of, you know.
See,
because I effectively broke my freaking hand.
I know that there are 12 perfect little targets that I can take out on either side of your body, and you will think about me every time you breathe. And I would just work the body. I'd just work it. And just, like, I rarely tried to punch somebody in the face because you have teeth and a really hard forehead.
No. Yeah.
No,
that
thank
shit's
you.
Stupid.
I was never going.
Stupid.
That's a boxing thing. I was never trying to TKO anybody. I'm going to hit you in the body until you can't breathe anymore.
Well, I want
and then
people to,
you're
if I'm
done.
getting into a fight with you,
Yeah.
my whole objective, like if it's as an adult now, I mean, I'm a 44-year-old man as of tomorrow, right?
Congratulations.
Oh, Jesus.
You made it.
So if I get into another fight in my life, it'll be one too many, right?
Absolutely.
I never, ever want to be in another fight. But
no fight.
if I do, you're going to pee blood.
See?
And that's how I walk into it.
Right. I don't want to get into altercations.
No, and I don't want to wrestle around on the floor. Are you fucking kidding me? It's
with
the
my
dumbest
kids.
shit in the fucking world. Right. No. Right.
Right.
But why are there people that think like it's okay to, like, I don't know,
because they didn't learn that shit when they were kids. They weren't learned right. That's why. Oh, fucking, they missed out on
straight up assault. Hey, guess what? You punch someone in the face in a bar, it's called assault.
Right.
I'm just saying.
When you're grown-ups, you're gonna go to jail. Whereas, see, that's the thing.
Assault. That is what it comes down to, is that it's bad. If someone that gets into a fight, like if there's no way out of it, I see it. But too often that right there makes me see people just have horrible judgment.
Right.
So I don't want to fucking hang out with you.
Because
if you're the kind of guy that's going to do that, if you get pushed to a point where you're going to fight, your judgment's fucking, or at least instigate the fight. Like, I understand, again, self-defense, you have to be able to do that, but
right, you can never be the aggressor. Right, that's the thing.
Jesus, what is wrong with you?
Well, and that's the other thing too, is we're talking about taking it to the tree line. Even if you're a grown-ass man, if you're in the cube farm right now and you don't like Frank, and it's like, hey, motherfucker, what's your deal? What are you talking about? Well, you seem to be kind of an asshole. I would like to understand why. Would you like to get into fisticuffs? Maybe at 5:05 in the parking lot.
Well, see, this is the thing, is that you've got no reason to go fisticuffs if the other person would just, have a conversation about it.
Right.
Like, why are you such an asshole?
Right.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know what the answer is.
Oh, see.
I just know that fighting and shit, it's last resort.
Right. It's a last resort, and it's one of those things, in my opinion, me personally, as a parent with school-age children, if your kid fights in a classroom and gets into an open altercation in a classroom, I understand why a school would expel them. But if your kid is like, hey, man, 3 p.m. rolls around, last bell, I'm meeting you by the flagpole, and these two are handling it, we'll talk with them and then just go back to class. Like, that's pretty much where I'm at as a parent. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things, our kids agreed to it, and now they're pummeling each other. All right, whatever. Like, don't kill each other. Hey, the kid's down, you're fine. Even if my son takes the licking. He was running his freaking mouth. The kid's being a shit. Sure, go for it. It's like but it's not, it's one of those things to where I think that a passion in the moment is different, right? You shouldn't be egging each other on when you're sitting in the classroom or doing anything else like that. And the reason why I say this is because I swear to God, we dealt with this shit in the Marine Corps. I dealt with this in the goddamn schoolhouse. As a CMT, I dealt with two people who hated each other the entire time they were in class, went to the tree line, dropped blouses. We all sat around, smoke them if you got them, and watched these two beat the shit out of each other. As grown men. These are, 25, 26-year-old men, and that was it. And they were from completely different sections in the Marine Corps. They were on TAD for this duration that they were at school, and they both went back to their home units with black eyes and no explanations. And you want to know what? Their mommies didn't call. No one from their unit called up and said, what the fuck happened to you? What happened to my guy when he was at your schoolhouse? What do you mean what happened? What are you, his caretaker now? Shut up. Come on. Guy got in a fight. Who the hell cares? Is his eye knocked out of his head? No, he didn't even need to go to the ER. Don't worry about it. He showed up to formation on time. Happened to be with a black guy. I'd laugh at the story, wouldn't you? I wouldn't get that guy in trouble. It's not like he's got a sunburn. You ever seen somebody get NJP'd for a sunburn?
Yes.
God.
Well, sort of, but the guy was a shitbag. Right? like they were just looking for a reason to do it, right?
Right. Yep, there you go. You guys have your own comments about the tree line. I'm sure that this episode's going to get some comments. I miss the tree line. I mean, we're going to have the tree line at 5 paragraph. You know, when Diane and Brian can't stand each other, they're going to go outside and slap fight each other the way that civilians do.
Right. Slap fight each other.
Slap fight.
Jesus Christ.
It's going to be pulling hair.
Shit, man.
I love you guys. Thanks so much for listening to Cigars and Sea Stories. You guys are freaking awesome, honestly. Level-headed, awesome people. I hope that this has been somewhat of a departure. I mean, it's something to where a lot of our audience members have been chiming in with their comments. We've been asked to talk somewhat on this topic to an extent. We've had a lot of phone conversations. I know I have. With a lot of different quote-unquote solutions that are out there. But look, we're all about our time that we spent in the military and kind of where we're coming from and that background side of things. I don't change policy by any means, but I definitely remember the tree line working. So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, right.
I think that's where we basically, settled down on it. But, hey, anyway, the government's about to shut down, so can we get back to that? All right, thanks so much to our sponsors, Heroes Media Group. Love you guys. And by the way, check out Heroes Media Group and what they're doing out there with all of the other new shows that are coming on. It's really amazing. Adam Bird, I think, is a business genius of sorts. And they actually have a Heroes Media Group cohort, they're a member of the cohort in Miami. So they have a Heroes Media Group office in Miami. They've also got a location in Northern Virginia. They had one for a time in Phoenix. He relocated up near Pittsburgh. It's a crazy thing that's growing, and I love it. And check out Heroes Media Group. So you should probably do that. Folks, if you want to get noticed as contractors, and you're out there and you're trying to figure out how, go to veteranslist.us. Check them out. You can get a featured membership half off, 50% off by entering discount code Cigars and Sea. It's a featured membership half off by entering in discount code Cigars and Sea on veteranslist.us. Get noticed by names like Hakoa. And Hakoa, the Home Repair Network, homerepairnetwork.com, homerepair.com? homerepairnetwork.com. Hakoa, Hocoa. We did an episode with them. They're awesome. If you have anything going on with your house, with your lawn, with your roof, with your anything that is happening inside of your square footage there, call Hakoa and they can help you out. They are the folks that you call when you're trying to find the top-notch elite contractors that are local to your area. We did an episode on Hakoa. Check it out. And last but certainly not least, our marketing contingencies that we work with over here, Spartan Media, as well as McPherson Marketing Group. Spartan Media works with contractors, more on the general, on the commercial, on the large construction, developing the website, the presence along that. McPherson Marketing Group gets your name out there. If you need help with reviews, check them out, especially because they correlate all of your reviews onto your homepage and make it very simple and easy for folks to provide a positive testimonial of your work, which is something that you should be leaving the job site and saying, just give me a testimony right there on our website. That's it. Thanks. Bye. And it's that simple, and boom, that's how you get lined up. McPherson Marketing Group, they can walk you through it. Super simple. We can shoot you an intro email. Get in touch with us. 5paragraph.com for all of your business development needs. We're advisors, not consultants. I was not a consultant to the Afghan Uniform Police. We needed to leave. The whole point is you're developing your own program, and then we're out of there. That's the point. Check us out, 5paragraph.com. Call us. Just call us. It's cool. There's actually somebody answering the phone right now, which is kind of neat. Studio's over here, and then that office is over there. Right. I mean,
right.
That's what's up. Like, if you're talking about a home office, pretty sly situation right there. That's okie dokie. Bennett, do you have any factoids about the tree line? Because I got a factoid for you.
Yeah, go ahead. Jesus.
Do you know what a boxer's fracture is?
A what?
A boxer's fracture. So a boxer's fracture is when you break the bone that is in your pinky right there in the middle of your hand, right? Feeling across the top of it.
Yep.
And here's the factoid of the day. When you get out to the tree line and you want to punch your opponent in the face, make sure that it's the first two knuckles, the index and the middle, and you straighten that wrist out nice and straight. Okay? Because otherwise, when you do punch the top of the head, you will break your fucking hand, as I did, and then it will swell 2 sizes too big. Which that was playing hockey. I punched a dude in the side of the head just above the ear. Should have gone for the ear. Yeah, that hurt real bad. So factoid, boxer's fractures. That hurts. A boxer fracture. Google it.
A lot.
It hurts a lot. Don't punch people with those 2 knuckles. Punch them with the front 2. The index and the middle. Those 2. It's all good. Oh, God. Boxer fracture. All right, folks. Man, I love this audience. You got anything else for them? Just say something.
I don't.
Say something. Say the word something.
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 And on that note, we cue the music.
Flag unfurled to every breeze, from dawn to setting sun.